Mike Rideout along with Will White back here at the Lakeland Center. The winner of this game will play FAMU of Tallahassee for the Class 1A state championship Wednesday afternoon at 2:30. FAMU a winner. Will, I don't know if you got a chance to see much of that game, but FAMU rolled in that one.
Yeah, that was, I know Coach Nora pretty well. His first chance come here from Academy at the Lakes, but FAMU, they really spread the ball out, got it inside. Their big girl inside with good moves, even hit a couple threes, I think. So they are tough, played with a lot of composure, but aggressiveness at the same time. Because Academy of the Lakes gave them a run, but FAMU pulled away there at the end. So it's going to be a great matchup, whoever advances to play them next round.
Final score once again, 67-46. FAMU moves on to the Class 2A state championship, where they will wait and meet the winner of this game between the Eagles and the Pride. And as we look at the region final, the game that got these teams here, Grandview Prep got by First Baptist Academy. They didn't have to go on the road to win that game in Naples. They win it by the final of 50-40. And then I had to go back and just research the articles to make sure it wasn't a typo. Yes, Hollywood Christian won their region final by the final score of 73-6.
That's absolutely unbelievable. I agree. I had to go look as well, and their regional games were they won 219-31 total. But who gets beat in a regional final? Who's that good?
Yeah, right.
Because it's not like it's a first round game.
Exactly.
Maybe someone just had a weak district, but that's a team that won 2 games to get there. 73-6.
And if that wasn't bad enough, David Posick Jewish Day drew Hollywood Christian in round 2 in the region semifinals. Hollywood Christian rolled in that one 69-6.
Well, it almost could be a detriment if the game's close here. You know, they haven't had a close game since, what did we say before, January 14th?
All right, here we go. Underway 4 8-minute quarters to determine who will play in the Class 2A state championship. Grandview Prep, the home team in the white uniforms, and we are underway here at the Lakeland Center. Conrad with it on the near sideline. Now to Petahome, who will bring it up top and reset the offense. No shot clock in high school basketball, so they can be as patient as they want. Pass inside, deflected and stolen by Jinx. Now off to Kelton. Eagles 20-7 on the year. Baseline drive. Nice little floater by Shamaria Bridges.
It already looks like early Hollywood's going to be doing full court pressing, half court traps, back into man. So far, Grandview has done a good job attacking like they did right there.
Boy, a nice spin move there by Nija Petahome. The 5'8 sophomore gets her first 2 of the game. As we look at the starting lineup again for the Pride, again, it goes freshman, sophomore.
Coach's dream.
There are 2 seniors in the starting lineup for the Eagles, Kelton and Osceola. Collision, and we'll have a foul. Will be a non-shooting foul. Foul was called against Nija Petahome.
Yeah, they'll be in a lot of trouble if she gets in foul trouble. She's, for the class of 2014, she's ranked top 35 nationally, according to their coach.
By the way, your officials for today, the referee is Julie Seglum. Umpires are Chris Beers and Tim White. Game tied at 2, just underway, a minute and a half in here in Lakeland. That'll be a 2 if it goes. Back of the iron, no good for Skyla Osceola. Her older sister, Araya, also in the starting lineup. After a miss, boy, another quick spin move by Petahome. She likes that spin move.
I'm dizzy just thinking about it.
Yeah. Eagles come away with it. Osceola, that is Skyla Osceola, the 7th grader.
I still can't get past that. I've seen some 8th graders here in Lakeland, but I've never seen a 7th grader start.
Ball thrown away, so the Eagles will get it back. Hollywood Christian. We had 2 from Shamaria Bridges, 2 from Skyla Osceola, leading by 2.
Give both these teams a little credit. They stepped up their game this year. They played some tough opponents to get ready. I think maybe they saw their districts. They were going to have an easy time, so they should be well tested.
Eagles on the attack. So they work it into the corner to Bridges. Back up top and now back inside to Jinx. Jinx, nice move. And it rolls off, no good. Rebounded by Pierre Louis. She goes by Vivi. Penahone with a miss, but a foul on the rebound will go against the Eagles.
Petahome, that's one of the fastest girls I've seen in a long time. Just seeing her here on the floor run, she can definitely get after it, and full of confidence.
Bridges will pick up the foul. That's her first, team first, and at the foul line is Ashley Arenas, a 5'10" sophomore. First free throws in and out.
We'll probably talk about this several times, but the shooting here does tend to drop off quite a bit. You know, they used to have a curtain on one end, and it seemed like that side people shot a lot better given some background.
It's a good point, because they'd put the curtain up, but then for the boys tournament they would take it down to accommodate the big crowds that we would have for the boys tournament. Boys will be here next week. Region semifinals around the state tonight, in fact. A 1-point lead for Hollywood Christian. Eagles with a basketball. Osceola with a miss and rebounded by Jonica Garvin.
I think another thing that kind of gets into some people is the court's a little bit longer than most of it's a college court. And so that fourth quarter legs, a lot of people lose that. Plus, the teams are better, so the defense should be a little bit better.
Conrad with a miss, but kept alive. Offensive rebound for Garvin. Yeah, for girls, you know, getting an opportunity to play in this tournament for a first time, it's a great experience. It's a beautiful venue here in Lakeland.
Oh, I love it. I remember coming here in 08 for the first time as a coach, and we used to have meetings here, and you just come in and nobody in, and just seeing the court and the brightness and just the setup, it's an unbelievable feeling.
Raquel Jinks picks up the personal. That's her first, team second. And at the foul line, Vivi Pierre-Louis. Free throw is no good. 6'4" sophomore looking for her first point of the game. I'd like to see it stay here in Lakeland, you know, for as long as I can continue coming to this thing.
It's perfectly located right in the center part of the state. You go anywhere else. Remember our boys at Boca Ciega had their state championship game in Tallahassee. And so imagine a Miami parent trying to have to go all the way up there for a game. That's tough.
All right, a tie game. Game tied at 4. As the shot by Garvin by Jinks was blocked.
We got a nice battle going inside between Vivi Pierre-Louis and Jinks.
Game tied at 4 with 4:12 now to play in the opening quarter. Pass went out of bounds, but it will remain with the Pride.
Well, so far Grandview's taken that first 4 minutes. I thought that was going to be real important, you know, with Hollywood's experience. But the Pride's they're hanging right there with them.
Well, especially when you consider the fact they gave up only 6 all game and they've given up 4. So yeah, give the Pride credit.
I still can't get over that.
I can't either. And to do it in back-to-back games. Wide open 3, no good by Kelton, and rebounded by the Pride. Vivi cut off, but now she penetrates, feeds it to the baseline to Arenas. And Arenas knocks down a 2. Ashley Arenas with her first field goal of the game. The 5'10" sophomore with 3. And it's a 2-point lead for Grandview Prep.
Yeah, you can tell those two have real good chemistry, looking for each other on the pick and rolls, open shots.
A 3 good by Araya Osceola. She had 15 in that region final. In fact, 4 players were in double figures.
Nice
good
pass.
Look. And good defense as Jinks got over defensively and blocked it out of bounds. We have a timeout on the floor. Media timeout with 3:11 to play in the opening quarter. Hollywood Christian leads by 1 in this Class 2A state semifinal. We'll return to the Lakeland Center right after this. Well, earlier today in Class 1A, the 1A championship game is set, Will. It'll be Ponce de Leon, a 52-42 winner over Holmes County. taking on the Panthers of Newberry. Newberry was making its first semifinal appearance since 1989, so none of the girls on the team had even been born yet. So Newberry, a 49-45 winner over Hilliard, will play the 1A championship against Ponce de Leon tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it looks like that should be a really good matchup. I'm glad to see the close games. Sometimes you get here, and every now and then you'll get a blowout or two, but so far you've seen some really good games. Even the last game, FAMU pulled away at the end, but it was a competitive game all the way until the end.
And as we mentioned, FAMU was a winner, 67-46. They await the winner of this game in tomorrow afternoon's championship, 2:30. Corey Stevens will handle the play-by-play along with Dennis Mental, who will join me tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for the 1A championship. Glad to have all the coaches involved. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Oh, no, that's fun being here. Although the coach in me that playing back-to-back days is a change the state made last year, and that kind of makes it hard to prepare for the next game, but it's good for the families and the fans. So they don't have to have that extra night of hotel and expenses.
Right. A lot different to broadcast than the coach one, isn't it?
Oh, this is nice. This is nice. I tell you, practices are fun. Coaches are stressful, or the games are stressful.
Petahome throws it away, so the Eagles will get it back. Hollywood Christian with a 1-point lead here in the opening quarter of play. As I mentioned, Hollywood Christian had 4 players in double figures in that 73-6 win against Westwood Christian. Well, they led 52-2 at the half. Shot wouldn't go down for Kelton. Rebounded by the Pride.
It looks like the Pride might be in a diamond and one on Osceola. They were denying her pretty good, and be interesting to see if they can take advantage of that, if Hollywood can.
Arenas was open for a 3, drives in, and another block for the 6'2 junior Jinx. Pride retains possession.
She's channeling her inner Brittany Griner there, just blocking everything.
By the way, speaking of Griner, her future teammate will play a little bit later, Nia Johnson of PK Young, who will be playing at Baylor next year. Nice move inside, and a basket good by Vivi Pierre-Louis.
That's got to be a nice thing if you're a guard, knowing that you're going to go to a school that's got 6'9" post player, one of the best girls college players of all time. I would look forward to that.
PK Young will be in the 3A semifinal next against Melbourne Central Catholic. A miss by Burgess. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Eagles.
And Burgess, an 8th grader. So the Pride you see there, 8th grade, 1 senior, a couple freshmen, a couple sophomores, pretty young.
Yeah, only 1 senior and 1 junior.
I think if they stick together, you're going to see them a few times here.
But they throw it away. Eagles get it back. A little over a minute and a half remaining in the opening quarter. 3 different players have scored so far for Hollywood Christian. Araya Osceola with 3, Skyla Osceola with 2, Shamaria Bridges with 2. Foul after the miss.
Yeah, the Pride definitely in a diamond and one, really trying to take Osceola out of the game. She's got a nice quick release, lefty jump shot right there.
Well, and Raquel Jinks just picked up her 2nd foul. We'll see how long she remains on the floor. Actually, she just checked out.
I don't see too much. That could be a big loss for them. I think that's their only big.
Yeah, she's 6'2". The next player, tallest player, is Sierra Ingram at 6 foot. Well, the Pride throw it away again.
A little too long of a pass right there.
Give Grandview Prep credit, though. They've already scored more points than Westwood Christian scored in the region final. Good start to this first quarter here at the Lakeland Center. Bridges gets called for traveling. Traveling violation. Vivi Pierre-Louis with 3. Ashley Arenas with 3 to lead Grandview Prep. Petahome with 2. As her pass inside, deflected, but a good save by Pierre-Louis. Back in the head, some Petahome. Nija drives in, cut off, gets it back out to Gates. Casey Gates, 5'7" senior, gets her first 2 points off the bench, and it's a 3-point lead for the Pride. And a whistle away from the basketball and a foul called.
A little too good a denied defense there.
It'll be on Casey Gates, her first. That's the second team foul against Grandview Prep. As we wind down this first quarter here at the Lakeland Center. After a miss, a rebound by Malia Isaac. Kelton for three, no good. The follow shot good though by Shamaria Bridges. 5'6" junior gives the Eagles 2 more. And they trail now by 1. About a 15-footer, no good by Garvin. Kept alive. That'll be a 3 if it goes, but the shot no good by Arenas. And that is the end of the first quarter of play here at the Lakeland Center. Good first quarter. A 1-point lead for Grandview Prep. The Pride 10, the Eagles of Hollywood Christian 9. We'll return to the Lakeland Center right after this.
Something about make sure you say the team.
Doing good.
By visiting our booth or finding us online at flvs.net. The Proud Parents Company is the official supplier of championship rings for the Florida High School Athletic Association. Since 1913, Malmore has been a leader in student recognition products.
We can get a player up here. Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the FHSAA network, go to FHSAAsports.com/SBP.
All right, back to action here at the Lakeland Center. Second quarter just underway. Loose ball saved by the Eagles. And a floater in the lane, back of the iron, no good for Bridges. Rebounded by the Pride. Outlet down the floor to Pettiholm. Pettiholm had her shot blocked, but she draws the foul, and she'll shoot 2 shots.
Yeah, Pettiholm really looks for that drop step to the left quite a bit. So if I was defending her or paying attention, I'll make sure the team knows that she definitely likes to do that drop step to the left.
Fouls on.
You get a clarification on who the foul was on.
Fouls on number 15.
It'll be on Malia Isaac. That's her first. And here is Neja Pettiholm at the line shooting 2 shots. Her first free throw is no good. She had 2 points in the first quarter. Hollywood Christian 4 of 14 shooting in the opening quarter, 28.6%. Grandview Prep was 4 of 13, 30.8%. So both teams made 4 shots. And she gets 1 of 2.
One thing you see here in the Pride's diamond and 1 is that they really try and deny Osceola the ball at half court. And sometimes those good players, that's you don't have to guard them that far away. That just gives them angles to go. Pick them up a little bit closer to the 3-point line, you'll have more success.
After a miss by Kelton, the ball gets knocked out of bounds, but I thought we were going to say it was Eagle basketball, but instead, no, it goes back to Grandview Prep. And, well, as I look at the stats, the biggest discrepancy is rebounding. 15 rebounds in the first quarter for Grandview Prep, only 3 for Hollywood Christian.
Yeah, including 7 offensive rebounds. So Grandview Prep, they got their motor going, and there's another one right there.
Of course, she'll probably say that was a pass. And a foul called will put them at the line for 2 more.
I really think having a Jinx out of the game is a big, big loss for Hollywood.
And that's the second foul on Isaac. So Jinx with 2 and Isaacs with 2. And here's Pierre-Louis shooting 2 shots. First free throw is no good. She's now 1 for 3 from the foul line here in the opening quarter, or opening half.
I think that's another thing that's tough, other than the arena itself sometimes having difficult shooting, but you don't play a lot of games with these standalone baskets. So just a different look and a different feel.
Yeah. Second free throw, no good. Skyla Osceola, the 7th grader, with a rebound. We both shake our head every time we say that.
Cannot believe that.
I mean, not only starting as a 7th grader, but on this platform, on this stage.
With highly competitive players.
Right.
And these are good teams. It's not, sometimes maybe you'll get a team or a region that's just not real strong, but she's holding her own and against some really good team.
Last touch by Pierre-Louis. Eagles basketball. Hollywood Christian trailing by 2 here in the opening half. Ball deflected and stolen by Petahome. She's going to go all the way in. Almost shot it over the backboard. Rebounded by Shamaria Bridges. Now here's Kelton, cut off on the baseline. As she works it inside. Good position, but Ingram couldn't get the shot to go down. She went after the rebound and instead picks up a foul.
That last breakaway layup for Petahome, she had the left-hand layup and went all the way to the right side. Took a little bit longer, allowed the defense to catch her.
Actually, they're going to call it on Skyla Osceola. That'll be her first. She was in there battling with Ingram. Two-point game with 6 minutes to play until halftime. Both teams still looking for their first field goal of this second quarter, as we've now played 2 minutes. That'll be a 3 if it goes, but the shot was no good by Garvin. The Eagles back the other way with a chance to tie or take the lead on a long-range shot. I don't know that she called it, but it counts for 3.
I didn't hear it.
Shamaria Bridges knocks down a 3. She has 7, and Hollywood Christian leads by 1. Timeout on the floor. Not sure who called that timeout. Do you know, Will?
I missed that one myself.
So we will take a break. We'll come back with more of the Class 2A state semifinals from Lakeland right after this.
Well, Coach Adamson for Hollywood Christian, has had very successful season and career. He even coached at Westlake Prep for a season and went 21-5. So he's no stranger to having great teams and good success.
Still 3 more games to go. Including this one. 6 games today, 4 games tomorrow, 4 games on Thursday, 6 on Friday, and 4 on Saturday. Now we've expanded to 8 classifications.
Yeah, that was really necessary. It's been a long time, and so these classifications got so packed that you had so many good teams that just for whatever reason weren't able to kind of get their shot. So it was fair. The number of schools have really exponentially grown. So it's good to see all these different divisions and high caliber teams get a shot to be here.
Full court press by the Eagles. Garvin will bring it up the floor. Now in the hands of Petahome. Pride trying to reclaim the lead. They led by 1 at the end of the first quarter of play. Garvin for 3. And rebounded by Ingram. Osceola. Going to be called for traveling. She ran right into Arenas, who held her ground and forced the turnover. Well, it's been a long time since Hollywood Christian has had a close game. Their last close game was a loss.
Yeah, that really could come back to haunt them. Sometimes those big wins, you're not really getting a whole lot out of that. So Grandview has had some closer games, so that might be a little bit of an advantage that they could have to cancel out Hollywood Christian's experience advantage.
Pierre Louis draws a foul. She'll go back to the line to shoot 2 shots.
Foul on number 24, Sierra Ingram.
Sierra Ingram picks up her first personal. Meanwhile, that's the 7th team foul, so they are in the bonus. And the first free throw by VV gives her 4 here in the first half. She had missed her last 2 free throws. And the rebound to Skyla Osceola. So we're tied at 12 here in the opening half of play. How about the C's parting that time for Kelton? And a big rebound for the Eagles will put them at the foul line.
And she might have to start to look to do that more with Osceola out in the corner in the diamond and 1. You're going to have to drive or reverse the ball and get it to the corners or your post to counter that out.
Pierre Louis picks up the foul, her first. Free throw comes up short for Ingram.
So I didn't get a chance to ask, but I'm sure that Araya Osceola is Skyla's older sister.
Yes, they are sisters. Second free throw no good for Ingram, who shoots 54% from the foul line.
If I was Coach Adamson, I'd be hoping that there were more Osceolas on the way because they sure can play.
Yeah. Araya a senior, but Skyla just a 7th grader. Approaching the halfway point of this second quarter. And a tie game here in Lakeland. Good look inside for 2 more. Pierre Louis on the assist from Petahome. You know, and Petahome's threat to be able to score from anywhere on the floor should make her an effective passer.
Yeah, everybody, she's so quick and good from everywhere. The eyes are drawn to her that, if people are paying attention, back cutting like you see right here, she's going to make everybody else better.
Well, she comes up short there. Eagles will get it back, trailing by 2.
Those pull-up 18-footers are tough shots.
And a timeout for immediate timeout. As we are halfway through this second quarter, a little over halfway through. A 2-point lead for Grandview Prep, 14-12 right here on the FHSAA Network. Well, Will, one of the things that we did not mention is the absence of Rebecca Little, who was here last year. She's a senior, but she is injured, unfortunately. She only played in 7 games this year, but she averaged 15.3 points and 9.7 rebounds per game, yet they have shown no signs of missing her, have they?
No, they sure haven't. You would think that would hurt someone who averages almost a double-double. But Hollywood, they've just been together for so long. I think it's, next man up. You can hear Raheem Moore saying that right now and step it up and show what you got. Neither team seems nervous at all. They seem to be kind of playing their games. So that's very impressive. You would think, Grandview being young and Hollywood, you kind of expected to kind of come out and play, but I've been very impressed so far. Good defense.
And as we take a look at the numbers, Hollywood Christian 23.8% shooting, 5 of 21. Grandview Prep 5 of 19, 26.3%. And the rebounds continue to be big in favor of Grandview Prep. They've out-rebounded Hollywood Christian 22-10. They get another rebound here. And 8 of them have been on the offensive glass.
If I was the Pride, that would one thing to make me a little nervous is it's a close game, and they've kind of had every break so far.
Basket and 1. Count the basket. It'll be a 3-point play the old school way for Jonica Garvin. That's her first 2 points of the game, and the 6-foot freshman will go to the line. Chance to add to this 4-point lead for Grandview Prep. Sarah Kelton whistled for the personal, her first. 8th team foul. And Garvin got the free throw.
she's got really nice form, and sometimes you see that more even with the lefties. You pay attention, but even the threes that she's missed, a couple of those, just gets it off quick, right off the shoulder. Seems very smooth and confident. She's fun to watch.
And again, I mentioned only a freshman. Youth is served here in the 2A semifinals.
I had to double check that. I didn't believe you.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, she's got a nice stroke, and if she continues to develop, has a chance to be a pretty good player by the time she's a senior.
Yeah, because how many 6-foot freshman left-handed guards that you have that are freshmen?
Right.
So she looks really tough.
Already starting as a freshman, so a three in the corner, good by Shamaria Bridges. Bridges' second shot beyond the arc here in the second quarter, and she's already in double figures now with 10.
And she only averages nine a game, so her stepping up with Jinx down and Little out has really helped the Eagles stay in it.
And she actually was not one of those that was in double figures in that region final. So it just shows you how much depth this team has. Kelton led the way with 19, but Kelton is yet to score. Foul along the baseline against the Pride. Blocking foul will be on Summer Burgess. That's her first. The eighth grader getting some time here in the first half. That's going to be a travel. Jackson shuffled her feet. Good call.
Yeah, I really do think the Pride's diamond and one's really giving the Eagles a tough time, with Araya Osceola not being able to kind of get involved in the offense. They kind of seem to be struggling in the half court.
And you wonder, how this will affect the mindset of Hollywood Christian after blowing out their last two opponents. The good news for Hollywood Christian is they do have experience. I mean, they've been here, so they know what to expect. Foul called against Brittany Jackson, her first. And at the line, Nija Pettiholm shooting a 1-on-1. That's now 4 first half points for the 5'8" sophomore. And she got them both.
Also a nice release right there. You can tell she's been well coached.
We talked about the fact that because they are so young, with no juniors or seniors in the starting lineup, that they might be able to make a little bit of a run, as that shot is no good by Brittany Jackson, but picked up by Bridges. Consider this, Grandview Prep prior to this season, Will, were 0-2 in regional play. They went 3-0 this year.
They just put it all together, and you can see why. You get the influx of young talent. They really seem to trust each other, sharing the ball, filling their lanes really well.
Brittany Jackson gets her first 2 of the game. Grandview Prep leads by 2. Nice runner in the lane by Pierre Louis. She has 8. Back to a 4-point lead for the Pride. 3, an air ball by Bridges. Skyla Osceola had checked out, but she'll check back in the lineup now.
Remember, Hollywood coming onto the scene a few years ago, Indian Rocks Christian from Pinellas County had a really good team, and they lost to Hollywood Christian in a tournament. So I was asking Coach Farver about that, and he's like, they're all 8th, 9th graders. This team's for real. And then just to see them kind of just go to 5 straight since then, we saw it coming. And it seems like they're ready to reload, too, with their other young players. So they're set up nicely for a long time.
Under a minute to play in the opening half as they work it back inside. This time, Pierre Louis misses the shot. Bridges quickly into the front court. Pass deflected
nice
and stolen. Good defense, but stolen right back by Osceola. Osceola, good pass inside, but they can't finish. Ingram misses the layup, but does get it back. Osceola down the lane. No, but she got fouled, and she'll shoot 2 shots. I think this was called in the act of shooting. We'll see.
Yeah, I think she called it on the ground.
Okay.
I was thinking the same thing. I was wondering if they were going to give her the attempt.
Ashley Arenas picks up the personal. That's her first, so it will be a non-shooting foul. And Araya Osceola will throw it in. 30 seconds left in the half. Quick catch and shoot by Bridges. Good. That's her 3rd 3, Will, here in the second quarter.
Luckily for the Eagles, she's really stepped up this half, keeping them in this game. 1 point difference.
And she's actually second on the team in shots made beyond the arc. Basket and one. Pierre Louis will go to the line for a three-point play.
Yeah, both teams starting to step it up here a little bit, getting to score a little bit more frequently, getting into the groove of the game.
Sarah Kelton picks up her second foul. Pierre Louis now in double figures with 10. After a miss, big offensive rebound by Garvin. She misses the putback, but Arenas with a rebound. Back inside they go. Why not? Two more for Pierre Louis.
That was a nice lob pass. You don't see that a lot in high school girls basketball.
That will take us to the locker room. Grandview Prep 25, Hollywood Christian 20. The Pride with a 5-point lead at the break. Stay with us here at FHSASports.com, and we'll come back and tell you about the numbers from the first half, the individual totals as well as the team totals. Once again, our halftime score is Grandview Prep 25, Hollywood Christian 20, right here on the FHSAA Network.
On the site, you can keep up with the teams, the people who started in high school athletics in the state of Florida the best. That's Facebook.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the FHSAA network, go to FHSAAsports.com/SBP.
You can play with confidence on the court or on the field. When you play with quality, you play the best.
Mike Rana along with Will White back here in the Class 2A stage semifinals. There you see our halftime score. The Pride with a 5-point lead over the Eagles. As we take a look at the first half stats, some of the things that jump out at me, well, first for Grandview Prep, they have actually out-rebounded Hollywood Christian 26-15, and they've gotten to the foul line more times, 7 of 14. But as Billy Donovan, the University of Florida basketball coach, said, the biggest equalizer in basketball is the three-point line, where we see Hollywood Christian has knocked down 4 shots beyond the arc compared to none. What are your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Grandview had a great opportunity to kind of expand that. It's 5 points, but 7 of 14, even at 10, 11 of 14, you're looking at closer to a 10-point game. But give the Eagles credit, the three-point shooting, those 4 threes really kept them in. 12 of their 20 points coming on that.
So not only making the free throws, but getting to the foul line. The turnovers fairly even. And both teams not shooting lights out, 34% for Grandview Prep, 26.7% for Hollywood Christian.
Hollywood did get off a lot more shot attempts with 30.
Don't forget, folks, you can buy DVDs of this broadcast. Just go to FHSAAsports.com, log on, and purchase your DVD online. It'll be Grandview Prep basketball to begin the third quarter of play. Second half now underway, and they quickly go to work. Once again, that's what they did in the first half. They went inside to Viennese.
Yeah, they're
we'll
just
call her VV, Pierre Louis.
That'd be nice. It'd been much easier. With a nice drive and pitch to the block.
She's got 14 points. Foul called on Darla Cypress.
Yeah, that last time, the 7th grader, Skyla Osceola, all 5'7" of her were up against Pierre Louise and her 6'4" frame in the blocks. I'm not quite sure that's going to be the game plan.
My apologies, the wrong team. Number 11 is Caitlin Conrad for Grandview Prep, who picked up the foul. Kelton comes up short, rebounded by Grandview Prep. Outlet ahead to Pennaholm.
Boy, I'm really, really impressed with Pierre Louise. She cleared the rebound there, had 3 girls all over her back, got the ball out, and they really ran their transition off of that. Real strong.
That's 5 points for Ashley Arenas. And the largest lead of the game, Grandview Prep by 9. Again, this is against a Hollywood Christian team that beat their last opponent 73-6. Sometimes numbers can be misleading.
You just never know, and coming off a state championship as well.
Hollywood Christian with all the experience, making it 5 straight times to the state championship. They won the 1A title last year. And we do have a player injured. That is Araya Osceola, 5'7" senior. Shamaria Bridges led the Eagles in scoring in the first half with 13 points. Pierre Louis led the Pride with 12. Only 2 players currently in double figures. Bridges got her points, a lot of them from beyond the arc. In fact, 9 of her 13 in the second quarter on 3 threes.
Well, Hollywood, with their run they've had the last 4 years, they're still nothing to stress about anything yet. Still early.
Even though they had 4 of 5 starters transfer in, still hard to believe they were winless last year, and here they are in the finals.
Yeah, up 9 in the second half of the semifinals.
Looks like she's going to be okay. Although she is very slow to get up. So she'll have to sit out for a little bit. Don't forget, coming up next, the 3A semifinals. Should be a good one. PK Young out of Gainesville against Melbourne Central Catholic in one 3A semifinal. In the other semifinal, it'll be the Seahawks of Community School of Naples against the Parkway Panthers of Miramar, who are back in the finals again.
Both those games should just be phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to those matchups. I'd like to wonder how many teams went 0-for, and then the next year came to the Final Four. That's a tough task, even with a couple people coming in.
Eagles trying to cut into this deficit. And it's Jinx. How about Jinx getting her first 2 of the game? You know, she got in early foul trouble, Will. And they need her offensively here in this second half.
Yeah, and I think Hollywood's kind of driven off of scoring. They went right into their press off of a score. So if you're not scoring, obviously you can't get into your press.
Reverse layup, no good by Garvin. Rebounded by the Eagles. Jinx, though, averages a double-double. And that's going to count. It'll be a 3-point play the old school way.
You see the Eagles really attacking here the last 2 possessions. You see them getting the ball inside. Jinx drop stepping, going up hard. And then Kelton right there going in. So this could be their moment right here. They're ready to make a little run.
Well, Kelton gets her first 2 of the game. And the free throw gives her 3. And the second foul on Ashley Arenas.
And again, that allows them to get into their press off of a make. And there's a turnover.
So the Eagles with a chance to close the gap. They can make it a 2-point game or a 1-point game on a long-range shot, especially if they get it in the hands of Bridges, who hit 3 in the second quarter. Kelton running the point to Osceola. Baseline 3, good. No, they're going to give her a 2. Sarah Kelton with all 5 of her points here in the third quarter, and it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, with Araya Osceola out of the game right now, the Prides went to a box of 1 against Bridges, who had the 3 3-pointers in that first half.
Arenas in and out, no good, and rebounded by Jinx. So not only do they miss the scoring of Jinx, but the rebounding too. She's back in there, and boy, I don't even think Pierre-Louis had to jump for that block. Here's Petholm in the lane, no good. That's going to be over the back on Arenas, and that will be her 3rd.
Yeah, you really see that momentum kind of changing here, right here. The Eagles really attacking last 3 or 4 possessions. You see the intensity is just way up compared to what it was that first half.
Well, it was a 4-0 run to start for Grandview Prep, but now it's a 7-0 run, make it a 9-0 run. And Skyla Osceola, the 7th grader, with 2 more. She has 4.
Might be a good time for a timeout. I'm just thinking you get the extra timeouts with the media timeouts here, so you really have plenty of timeouts.
A 9-0 run by the Eagles have tied this game here in the third quarter. Good look inside, but they can't finish. Garvin misses it, but they get the rebound and the stick back by Pierre-Louis plus the foul. So a 2-point lead for the Pride. Jinx picks up the personal. That's her 3rd. Pierre-Louis to the foul line, where she was just 2 of 7 in the first half. Boy, how about another offensive rebound? Garvin with a big rebound, the 6-foot freshman. This can be a 4-point trip, but they missed the shot. Jinx with a rebound.
And Garvin's a lefty, so that was a tough drive for her to have to go right-handed right there.
Baseline drive, no good by Bridges. And that's going to be traveling. I thought Osceola, who bumped her, may get called for the foul, but a lot of times if the player, you know, has trouble dribbling the ball or loses the ball, they'll call a foul in that situation, but the officials saw it as a no call.
Yeah, I thought that she did travel before the bump. A lot of times it does look like the travel happening first, but a lot of times they'll call it on the reaction. They will call a foul on that.
Jinx inside, comes up short, and a rebound foul against the Eagles. In fact, a player shaken up. That is Pierre-Louis.
Yeah, 2 big people for both teams, Pierre-Louis and Osceola for the Eagles, getting bumped up a little bit.
Sarah Kelton just picked up her 3rd foul. Kelton with 3, Jinx with 3. Right now, both of them are on the floor. Garvin for 3. Yes.
That's smooth.
No, they gave her 2. Must have had a toe on the line. 6-foot freshman. Even the public address announcer thought it was a 3, but
Correction, that was a 2-point basket.
roll of 2. And the Eagles turn it over. As we approach the media timeout here in the third quarter, quick substitution. Well, here comes Araya Osceola. Good to see her back in the game.
Definitely good to see her back in there. She went down pretty hard.
Pride with the basketball and a 4-point lead. They have led throughout. They led by 1 at the end of the first quarter, by 5 at the end of the second quarter. That shot blocked by Osceola. It will remain with Grandview Prep. Arenas will check in. Conrad will check out. And we have a media timeout. Under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. A 4-point lead for Grandview Prep right here on the FHSAA network.
Do you want to be known for staying involved in high school sports? There's a role for you to play as a contest official. Opportunities are available for both students and adults to get back to the sports you love. By refereeing or umpire contests in the pride of sports, including basketball. Visit youngofficial.org to learn how you can register as a contest official for high school athletic.
Hollywood Christian has outscored Grandview Prep now by 1 in the third quarter, 9-8. This one has been close throughout.
Yeah, both these teams, again, real tough schedules. I'm looking over Hollywood's here. They beat Lakewood by 22, which is defending state champs. They're in the Final Four for 5A. American Heritage played a really tough tournament where they went 0 for 3 in a Georgia tournament. I'd like to see that tournament where a team like Hollywood goes 0 for 3, and that's a pretty impressive tournament.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because Grandview Prep has lost to Coral Springs Charter, which is in the Final Four in 4A. They lost to Dwyer, which was an 8A school, which lost in the region semifinals. PK Young, which is here in the 4A or the 3A Final Four, and also Miami Norland, which is in the Final Four in 6A. Well, that's a tough schedule, isn't it?
Yeah, so both these teams, give them lots of credit. You know, sometimes you have such a good team, you could roll off a 30-1 season, but go in and play a tough schedule. Get you ready for a game like this.
Sarah Kelton was scoreless in the first half. She knocks down a 3 there. All 8 of her points here in the third quarter, and it's a 1-point game. That is the 4th 3 of the game for the Eagles. And this will be a foul on the Eagles. Araya Osceola picks up the foul.
You always got to be careful of that inbounder, the person throwing it in on inbounds play. She was open there, passed it. That step back in is a big shot for a lot of teams.
Petahome backs it out. Now feeds it to the baseline. Turnaround shot. That's a tough shot behind the backboard. Pierre Louis couldn't get it to go down. She comes up slowly. And at the other end, Jinx has her shot blocked by Garvin, but she'll shoot 2 shots.
Yeah,
Probably a good foul there.
Definitely a good foul. That was going to be 2 for sure. Vivi's back here. You can't see it here, but in the back court, she's kind of limping a little bit. And that'd be a big loss for the Pride.
She's going to hustle to the foul line. Give them some size on the rebound.
Yeah, a lot of those big girls, I feel bad for them because they always have to run the longest. If you think about it, they go block to block. Sometimes the guards just go from, top of the key to top of the key.
Right.
So, they actually get that extra work. So you have to work your post a lot harder sometimes. They don't get a lot of credit for all that extra work they do. Boxing out, running further every time.
Jinx misses them both.
Definitely was a good foul then.
Remains a 1-point game. They had a chance to take the lead. Good defense. They double-teamed Pierre Louis that time. Well, I guess last touch by the Eagles, so Pride retains possession. After a miss, it's tapped out to the baseline to Osceola.
The Eagles are doing a good job against Petahome, but that's opening up a lot of opportunities for Pierre Louis.
Kelton with an air ball. Petahome, 2-on-2 in the lane. Face-up jumper, no good, and rebounded by Shamaria Bridges.
That was the right play right there. That nice little stop and pop, 8-footer. Didn't go in, but that's a nice move. Not trying to force it, getting in there and taking a
you
really
don't want to
crazy
lean
shot.
in and maybe even get called for an offensive foul. You're right. Osceola cut off, swings it over to Bridges.
It's a real good battle inside there of the post. Watching that, Jinx and Pierre-Louis.
There's Jinx, lost it. Loose ball picked up by Garvin. Garvin, 3-on-1. Missed the layup. Tapped out. No, they're... Okay, I thought they were going to call a foul.
Yep.
They did call a foul. And I think it's on Jinx. And if so, that's her fourth. Jinx was inside. Nope, instead they called it on Skyla Osceola, her second.
Yeah, a lot of times if you're at home and you're watching, if you see the official, they have their fist up, it's a foul. An open hand is a violation or out of bounds. And every now and then you'll see them change it.
Okay.
And that's when you'll get to, the coaches will notice some of those things sometimes and get yourself in trouble.
That's a three if it goes. Jinx with a big rebound. And she lays it in and got fouled.
Yeah, she's having a nice second half in there. They really missed her the first half. And I do think Pierre-Louis is a little out of gas. It's a nice timeout.
1:25 to play here in the third quarter. 34-33, a 1-point lead for Hollywood Christian. We'll keep it right here.
That's a special feeling. It's got to be Grandview Prep for Coach Downing. First year coaching, right off the blocks, getting to the Final Four.
Meanwhile, Carlos Adamson in his fourth year, 99-18, looking for win number 100. It'd be nice to win it at the semifinals, wouldn't it?
I'd take it.
Certainly would be a memorable 100th win. FAMU of Tallahassee awaits the winner. FAMU was a winner today in their semifinal, 67-46 over Academy at the Lakes.
That's going to be a really, really good game, that FAMU against the winner of this one. Jinx here only a 57% free throw shooter.
And she missed it, rebounded by Garvin. Ball deflected and stolen. Loose ball picked up by Kelton. Boy, nice shot, running shot by
The
Skyla
seventh
Osceola.
grader.
She's got 6. And it's a 3-point lead for the Eagles.
Anymore, though, with the AAU and all the travel ball, these girls play so much basketball.
That's going to be over and back.
That, you can have a 7th grader with a ton of experience, even though it's not the same level.
Right.
But just getting that opportunity to play so much, because she doesn't look nervous at all.
Sierra Ingram will check in for Hollywood Christian. Jinx will check out. Probably a good move there. Jinx with 3 fouls.
Yeah, definitely don't want to get a 4th foul into the third quarter, under a minute to go. This next minute, this last 54 seconds is going to be really important. Hollywood's kind of started to pull away here a little bit, but just the last few minutes in this quarter, they can kind of hold her to keep it close.
A 3, no good by Bridges, and it will go out of bounds back to Grandview Prep. Grandview Prep, just about 2 minutes or so into this third quarter, had a 9-point lead.
Yeah, so 12-point difference right there. Almost felt that it was pretty close here and there who was going to have that big run, and Hollywood has definitely been the team that had that. Pettahome's kind of been taken out of her game. Not really a whole lot going on here. Too long of a pass there.
Bridges to Osceola.
Boy, Osceola has
Taken
a quick
away.
release.
Pettahome, good pass. But they missed another layup. Garvin couldn't get it to go down, and rebounded by Shamaria Bridges.
And Garvin seems to have a tough time on that right block, being a lefty.
How about another drive in by the 7th grader? Skyla Osceola with 6 of her 8 in the quarter. And they could have taken a little bit more time there, but I think Conrad just wasn't quite sure how much time was left. There's actually 3.5 seconds left. So they have time to take one last shot. Kelton, a running shot, no good, and that's the end of the third quarter here in Lakeland. At the end of 3, it's Hollywood Christian 38, Grandview Prep 33. We'll return to the Lakeland Center right after this for the fourth and final quarter.
That's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the FHSAA network, go to FHSAAsports.com/SBP.
All right, fourth and final quarter. Will, how about this? The Eagles had 20 points at the half. They scored 18 in the third quarter.
And they just started to attack. I think maybe they were laying back a little too much, thinking the game was just going to happen, but they decided to really step it up and attack her hard. Get the ball inside to Jinx. I do think Jinx is their big difference maker. When she's in there, you see her right now just really working hard off the ball.
Osceola with a miss, tapped out long as they find Garvin ahead, and Garvin this time lays it in. Jonica Garvin with 7. By the way, you can order DVD copies of today's game. Go to FHSAAsports.com. 7:27 and counting in the basketball game. 3, no good by Kelton. Rebounded by the Pride. Boy, nice hop, skip, and a jump lay-in. Petahome with a beautiful move.
That was a nice move right there. I was almost ready for the spin, but she took that's a much more aggressive, strong move, and she's so fast. I mean, she almost doesn't need that spin. I guess a good competition.
7 for her. She did not score in the third quarter. Here's Bridges for 3, no good. Rebounded though on the weak side by Skyla Osceola. Another 3 left side by her sister.
I'll be yelling at her for blowing my assist.
Kelton for 3, yes. Well, they kept trying it, and then they finally got one to go down. The second 3 of the game for Kelton.
And that allows Hollywood to get into their press. Nice move. Not a lot of good head fakes from three-point land. Drive equals layup. But she took that in there really well. Not sure where the help side defense was that time.
Ashley Arenas now with 7. Getting back to Sarah Kelton, who knocked down that 3. She has scored in double digits now. All 11 points have come in the second half. Big reason why Hollywood Christian is, they're close to Gardner now. Big reason why Hollywood Christian has taken the lead after trailing by 9 early in the third quarter.
Hollywood hasn't gotten too much off their press, but it does kind of set the tone.
A chance to tie or take the lead on a long-range shot. Pierre Louis with a miss, but here's Garvin now. And Garvin ties it up.
Yeah, that was right into our strong point there. Driving to the left, being able to put that up. Nice, soft touch.
That's 9 points for the 6-foot freshman. We're tied at 41 here in the fourth quarter. Bridges has been quiet. She had 13 points, including 3 threes in the second quarter, but nothing to show in the third quarter offensively. Good pass inside, but Jinx has her shot blocked. And then they throw it away. Pierre Louis got the block, just couldn't hold on to it as she was falling down, threw it away.
Petahome's having a rough go of it here. She's just 1 of 9 and one of their better players. See for her maybe kind of step up here the last 5 minutes.
This time Osceola misses. Grandview Prep with a chance to reclaim the lead. Class 2A state semifinals from Lakeland. Double dribble is called, and the Eagles will get it back. 4:56 to play in the game. Tallahassee FAMU awaits the winner in tomorrow's 2A state championship at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon.
This has turned out to be a really, really strong game. Coming in, I thought maybe Hollywood, just with their experience, would have a little bit more of an advantage, but give Grandview credit. They just hung right in there and battled. It's been a great game.
After a miss, Jinx follow, no good. She gets another rebound, puts it up again, no good, but she got fouled and she'll shoot two. Second foul on Vivi Pierre-Louis. Jinx 0 for 3 from the foul line today. 57% on the year.
You beat me to it.
Sorry about that. First free throw is no good. Force of habit. A lot of times I'm used to working by myself. Have to do play-by-play and color.
But you got no voice the next day.
Right. Lane violation.
Surprised Hollywood here's a chance to press here, but they decided not to kind of go back in that half court.
Grandview
3-2 zone.
With a chance to reclaim the lead. We're all tied at 41 here in the fourth quarter of this 2A state semifinal.
The Eagles mainly been playing man. They kind of go 3-2 here, which opens up that middle in a 3-2 zone right around that free throw line, and Pettyhome really attacked that strong.
That's now 9 points for Nija Pettyhome, 5'8" sophomore. We seesaw the other way. Grandview Prep by 2. And Hollywood Christian back to the foul line for 2 more. Pettyhome whistled for her second. There you see the team fouls.
Skyla only a 40% free throw shooter, although only averaging 1.6 points a game.
Skyla trying to reach double digits. The 7th grader with 9 after that first free throw make. She would become the 3rd Eagle to reach double figures.
Sometimes they're too young to be nervous.
Second one no good, but a big offensive rebound for Bridges. And here's Osceola again.
She is just stepping up big today.
The 7th grader with 11.
And again, only 1.6 points per game, so she's just really decided to make a name for herself today.
She's given the Eagles a 1-point lead. Under 4 minutes to play in the game. Garvin cut off. Good defense by Kelton.
She's out of bounds.
You're right. Arenas couldn't believe it.
And who was playing defense on her that time? Skyla Osceola.
Timeout on the floor. 3:37 to play. A media timeout. It's a 1-point lead for Hollywood Christian. 44-43 over Grandview Prep. Don't forget. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back to the Lakeland Center right after this. Well, don't forget 2 more games coming up today. The Class 3A state semifinals between the Blue Wave of PK Young out of Gainesville, the Hustlers out of Melbourne Central Catholic. That's our next game here at FHSAA-sports.com. Also, Seahawks of Community School of Naples and the Panthers of Parkway out of Miramar.
One thing you start looking here, close game. Last 3.5 minutes to go. Hollywood will be shooting free throws the rest of the way, while they've only fouled 4 times. So big advantage to Hollywood in that sense.
Nice drive, but they couldn't finish. Osceola missed the layup. Pull-up shot in the lane, no good by Garvin, and rebounded by the Eagles.
It looks like she could have taken that in right-handed, but chose to kind of go to her strong arm.
Jinx. But it was knocked out of bounds by Pierre Louis. Hollywood Christian by 1. 3:07 to play in the game. Hollywood Christian shooting 35.7% in the second half. They were 26.7% in the first half. Grandview Prep shooting a little bit better, 34.6 in the first, 37.5 here in the second.
Gates coming in there for the Pride to guard Osceola man-to-man.
Osceola misses the shot. Garvin with a rebound. Garvin had Petahome down the floor, couldn't find her. Now Petahome gets it, and she'll set up the offense. Grandview Prep trying to reclaim the lead. And that they do on Garvin's shot. 11 points for the freshman, Jonica Garvin. Osceola again. Boy, that thing went in and came out. Heads up play as Bridges gets the steal.
Just getting a sense, the feel that this might be a last possession. Whoever has it's going to win game.
I do. Driving in is Kelton, and Kelton, boy, she's had a big second half. 13 points all in the second half. And it's a 1-point lead for Hollywood Christian and a steal by Bridges.
That's 2 big steals in a row.
1 on 2, but she split the defenders, just couldn't finish. Garvin with a rebound. Garvin down the lane. No good. Rebounded by Jinx.
Yeah, that right hand's giving her a little bit of a hard time today.
Petahome went for the steal, instead committed the foul. That will be her third. And a timeout.
They may have called timeout before the foul.
Did they? Okay, so a timeout called. Is that Grandview Prep that called that, or Hollywood Christian?
That looked like it had to be Hollywood because Hollywood had the ball.
Okay. There you see the time, under 2 minutes to play in the game, and a 1-point game. We've had some close ones today. The first game of the day, just a 4-point game, 49-45. Newberry defeated Hilliard. They will play Ponce de Leon of Holmes County for the state championship. Ponce de Leon defeated Holmes County. Those two teams separated by only 18 miles. 52-42 was the final score in that one. So it'll be Ponce de Leon and Newberry tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in the Class 1A state championship. FAMU pulled away in their game earlier today as they defeated Academy at the Lake 67-46. They await the winner for tomorrow's championship game at 2:30.
Pride still in that diamond and one, trying to make it really hard for Araya Osceola to get anything going. Look for them maybe to get the ball inside the Jinx one-on-one.
Grandview Prep with 2 players not only in double figures points, but double figures in rebounding. Pierre Louis, 16 points, 13 rebounds. Garvin, 11 points and 13 rebounds.
Hollywood's making the Pride come out of their diamond and one, so they haven't played much of any man-to-man this game.
Kelton. Wide open is Jinx, and she lays it in. Her first field goal of the fourth quarter. All 6 points in the second half. A 3-point lead for Hollywood Christian.
That was a really good job by Coach Adamson there, making the Pride come out man-to-man.
And Petahome comes up short on an air ball.
Pride's got to get some defensive intensity here. They're down 3, 45 seconds to go.
Yeah, and I would imagine the Eagles will take the air out of the basketball. Oh, traveling though.
Yeah, that's your 7th grader out there. Maybe not the best thing in that pressure situation to have with the ball.
Timeout call by Hollywood Christian. Actually, no, Grandview Prep, excuse me. 36 seconds left in this Class 2A state semifinal. Boy, it's turned out to be a pretty good game, Will.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's come right down to the wire. That's what you want to see, just for for the fans. Of course, the teams, I'm sure they want blowout wins, but for everybody else, it's been a very exciting game. And you don't necessarily need a three-pointer here. You can take the first available shot you got. You got plenty of timeouts, and so look maybe for a little screen and roll with Petahome and Louis. You could even try to spread it out with Garvin.
Don't forget, coming up next, PK Young and Melbourne Central Catholic, the 3A semifinals, our final 2 games of the day.
Yeah, it's going to be a strong game. 2 really, really strong traditional powerhouses there. Melbourne Central Catholic being in the Final Four many times. PK Young, always strong teams. So that's going to be a real good one as well.
All right, let's see what Grandview Prep decides to do down 3. Petahome. Picked up by Kelton. Arenas as they work it inside, and a tough shot, but Pierre-Louis lays it in. 18 for Pierre-Louis. It's a 1-point game.
Got a foul. Got a foul.
Osceola dribbling out of traffic and then finally does get fouled with 6 seconds to play. And the senior has a chance to extend the lead to 3. This will be a 1-and-1. That's the 19th foul. So not quite yet in the double bonus. The foul was called on Garvin. That's her third. Mariah Osceola shooting a 1-and-1. And that's a big, big free throw by the senior.
Boy, it's setting up that classic situation here. Let's say she makes this. All right, so Hollywood, if they do miss it, they're up 3. Do you foul Grandview to make sure they don't get the three-pointer off, right? Or do you go ahead and try to foul them? You foul them, you got to make the shot, miss it, get the rebound, put it back in the tie. So
you got fouls to give, so go for a steal.
Absolutely.
If you commit a foul, then so be it. I mean, I would foul.
You're right. I missed
3 before they're in the 1-and-1.
Yeah, I missed that. You're absolutely right. With only 4 fouls, you get 2 basically free fouls. Just play him behind everybody, make him catch it, foul him right away. Do that. You get to do that twice.
Yeah, but you got to do it right away. Don't wait till they get in the front court, because then
you're in
liable
trouble
to launch a 3 and then get 3 free throws out of it. So this will be a big free throw, because that could change their strategy. If she misses the free throw,
then you got to play.
I don't know if you foul or not.
Yeah, that's
even though you still have them to give.
That's why they get the big bucks.
Right. That was the first point since the first quarter for the senior, Mariah Osceola.
I think you're more likely to foul if you're a little more at professional or college level. High school level, they may foul when someone's getting ready to shoot.
Yeah.
It's not really quite understanding that fouls to give right away. She probably would play it straight up here.
So one more for Osceola, who has 4 points today. And rebounded by Grandview Prep, and they did exactly that. They did foul. And with 4.2 seconds to play, that's only the 5th foul.
So they still got 1 more to give. And that was a good foul, because Petahome was wide open ahead. I think did they get the timeout before the foul? If so, that's big.
30-second timeout called by White.
Well, it was a 30-second, but I'm not sure if it occurred before the foul or not.
If I'm Grandview here, I'd be making sure our girls are aware that if you feel someone's coming at you to foul, you get ready to shoot, even if it's in the back court.
Yeah. Will the official make that call, though? It has to be pretty obvious.
Yeah, that's
that
tough.
They're actually trying to shoot the basketball.
Yeah, it'd have to be pretty obvious. I'd hate to call that. If I was calling a foul for a three-pointer 90 feet from the basket,
yeah,
it better be pretty obvious they were looking for the shot.
Right.
Maybe look for a back screen here. Pettyholm's away from the ball.
Pierre-Louis will throw it in. 4 seconds left. Gets it into the front court.
Got it.
They look, but couldn't get it to go down. Pettyholm made the catch in the paint. But Hollywood Christian is going to hold on for the win. Boy, good execution.
That was really good to get the ball around the free throw line off for a last-second shot. She had to shoot off balance just because of the time, but really got it to her. That was a nice little play.
But Hollywood Christian prevails as they defeat the Pride. And we mentioned we'll see this Grandview Prep team again.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be paying attention. They're not going anywhere for a long time.
Don't forget you can buy your DVDs. Go to FHSAAsports.com. Once again, the final score, Hollywood Christian 49, Grandview Prep 47. For Will White, my broadcast partner, I'm Mike Rideout. Hope you enjoyed our coverage here at Play On Sports and the FHSAA Network. We'll see you soon for the 3A semifinals. So long, everybody.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1.
For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program and participate in the FHSAA network, go to FHSAAsports.com/SBP.